There was a trail of blood leading into the woods, and I thought it would take me to someone's death, until I realized the trail wasn't leading away from me. It was leading back to me. I never meant to end up in the woods that night. I never meant to step into the darkness carrying nothing but a flashlight, a dying phone, and the weight of a murder accusation I couldn't outrun. But life in Briar's Edge never cared about meaning. It cared about rumors. It cared about who people thought you were, even when they were dead wrong. And that evening, as the last smear of red sun dipped behind the pines, I found myself staring at a fresh trail of blood behind O'Malley's grocery, knowing deep in my bones that this was connected to the night Tyler Reed died. That was the night my life cracked open, the night they said I killed him. But this blood, this wasn't mine, and it wasn't Tyler's. It was Noose, still warm, thick, and pooling in uneven drops that led toward the tree line like breadcrumbs for the damned. I took one step, then another. Branches curled overhead like skeletal fingers. I wondered if the killer was watching me enter the woods, walking willingly into the same silence they hid inside. The air thickened as I followed the trail. My flashlight beam jittered with every tremor in my hand. I kept hearing Tyler's mother's voice in my mind, the way she screamed at me outside the courthouse. "You did this, Lily. You were the last one who saw him alive." She wasn't wrong. I was the last, but I didn't kill him. I replayed that night every time I tried to sleep. Tyler calling me from outside my porch, drunk and slurring apologies, me stepping out to tell him to go home, him stumbling away toward the woods that separated my house from the highway. His figure disappearing between the trees. I should have chased after him. I should have made sure he got home. Instead, his body was found the next morning, stabbed twice in the ribs, dragged across dirt that looked eerily like the trail I was following now. The sheriff never found the weapon, never found a witness, just found me, and that was enough. A twig cracked nearby, and I froze. "Hello?" My voice sounded small, only my echo answered. I pressed deeper, the blood drops grew thicker, fresher. My stomach twisted when my beam landed on something half hidden behind a fallen log. Fabric, blue, torn, a sleeve. I crouched, slowly lifting it. A jacket, small, maybe teenage size. The name tag on the inside read, Jace Miller. My chest tightened. Jace was the 16-year-old who worked part-time at O'Malley's, a quiet kid, smart, always reading mystery novels on his breaks. His mom used to drop him off every shift. Oh God, I swept the flashlight around wildly. Jace? Jace, are you here? Nothing, just the woods breathing, then a groan, very faint, very close. Jace. The sound came again, pained, muffled, desperate. I darted toward it, tripping over roots until my beam caught the shape of a body propped against a tree. I nearly dropped the flashlight. Jace. He was alive, but barely. Blood soaked the left side of his shirt. His face was pale, lips trembling. Lily, he whispered. Yes, I'm here, I'm right here. His breaths hitched. He said not to tell. He said he'd kill Mom. A chill crawled up my spine. Who, Jace, who did this to you? But his eyes rolled back before he could answer. His body slumped sideways. I grabbed my phone. No signal. I had to get help, but the nearest road was a 10-minute run. I checked his pulse. Weak, but there. I'm coming back. I promised, brushing hair from his forehead. Don't you die on me. As I sprinted, one thought burned in my skull. Jace knew something. Something about the murder of Tyler Reed. Something that someone tried to silence tonight. By the time I reached the station, my lungs were shredding. Sheriff Dalton looked up from his desk with the same annoyed expression he always reserved for me. What now, Lily? Jace Miller. He's in the woods. Someone attacked him. He needs an ambulance now. Dalton's jaw clenched. You expect me to believe that you just found him. Why would I lie? He leaned back, eyes narrowing. People do a lot of things when they're cornered. My nails dug into my palms. You think I attacked him. You were the one who found Tyler. Now you're the one who found Jace. He made air quotes. Pretty convenient. I exploded. I didn't hurt anyone. The sheriff didn't move for a long moment. Then he sighed, picked up his radio, called for EMT, not for me, for Jace. Let's go, he said coldly. We drove back in silence. When we reached the woods, paramedics loaded Jace onto a stretcher. He was unconscious. Dalton scanned the scene with a hearty stare. "No footprints but yours," he muttered. "Blood trail starts near O'Malley's. No sign of a weapon, no attacker." "Just you." I wanted to scream. Instead, I turned toward the trees, and that's when I saw him, a figure half hidden behind the trees, watching. When my flashlight landed on him, he stepped back, but not before I caught a glimpse of his face. Pastor Harlan, the quiet, soft-spoken pastor of the tiny Briar's Edge Chapel. Most people barely noticed him, and maybe that was the point. He vanished into the darkness before I could call out. Why would a pastor be watching from the woods, and why did he look terrified to be seen? Dalton's hand clamped onto my arm. "You're coming with me." I have more questions, but my gaze stayed on the trees, on the exact spot Pastor Harlan had stood. A sinking feeling tightened in my stomach. I couldn't sleep. At 3 a.m., I sat on my porch, replaying the moment Harlan's face appeared between the branches, how his eyes had widened, not in shock. Recognition. He'd seen me, he knew I'd seen him, and he'd run. Why, Pastor Harlan wasn't exactly well known. He'd moved to Briar's Edge about 8 months ago. Quiet sermons, kind words, always offering to help the community. The kind of man people trusted without a second thought. But I remembered something Jace had said before passing out. He said not to tell. He said he'd kill Mom, not they. He, a single man, a man Jace recognized, a man Jace feared, and suddenly, Harlan's face in the woods felt like more than a coincidence. I grabbed my keys, heart pounding. If the sheriff wasn't going to look deeper, I would. The chapel sat on the outskirts of town, alone on a hill surrounded by open land. Its steeple pierced the night sky like a black spear. When I pulled up, the parking lot was empty, but a faint light glowed from the side window. He was awake. I crept toward the window and peeked inside. Harlan stood in the center of the chapel, back to me, shoulders stiff. He was cleaning something on the altar with slow, methodical motions. My stomach dropped when I saw the object in his hand, a knife. Its blade caught the light. He scrubbed harder, as if trying to erase every trace. Tyler had been stabbed. Jace had been stabbed, and Pastor was cleaning a knife at 3 a.m. My breath caught. Suddenly a step behind me. I spun around. Harlan stood less than 5 feet away, expression unreadable. "Lily, what are you doing here?" I saw lights. "Thought someone might need help." He didn't blink. "That's kind of you." I glanced past him. "Are you alone?" "Yes." His voice was calm, too calm. "You shouldn't be wandering at this hour." People get hurt at night. A threat disguised as concern. I forced a nod. "I'll head home." As I sidestepped past him, his eyes followed me like cold hands on my spine. I didn't breathe until I was in my car, and then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "You should stop asking questions." I froze. Another buzz. Unknown number. Tyler didn't listen either. My chest tightened. The killer had my number, or worse, they were watching me right now. The next morning, I marched to the hospital. Dalton stood outside Jace's room with a grim look. "He's not awake," Dalton said. "Did he say anything?" "Earlier," Dalton hesitated. "He said your name." "My, what, why?" "Said you were in the woods." "Because I found him." Dalton crossed his arms. "Or because he ran into you." Anger burned through me. "Sheriff, someone stabbed a teenager and threatened him." "Did you even check Harlan?" Dalton's expression hardened. "The pastor, Harlan, saved this town after the floods. He volunteers at every drive. He took care of Tyler's mother when her husband died. Meanwhile you," his eyes narrowed, "have a history of being in the wrong place at the wrong time." I realized then, nothing I said mattered. Dalton had already made up his mind. I needed proof, real proof, not guesses, not suspicions, evidence. I waited until he walked off, then slipped in. Jace's room, monitors beeped softly. His face was pale but calmer. I sat beside him. "Jace, please wake up. Please tell me who hurt you." His eyelids fluttered. He whispered, so faint I had to lean right to his mouth. "It wasn't me." I froze. "What wasn't you?" Tyler. I saw him die. My heart nearly stopped. "You saw the killer." His breathing hitched. He hid the knife. Near the door burst open. Pastor Harlan stepped inside, holding flowers. My blood turned to ice. "Oh," he said gently, I didn't know anyone was here. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Jace's heart monitor began to spike wildly. Lily. He whispered. Harlan stepped closer. Don't be afraid, son. Jace's breathing became frantic, terrified, not of me, of him. Before I could say anything, nurses rushed in. Please step aside. One barked. I was pushed out of the room. Harlan stood beside me in the hallway, hands clasped behind his back. You look troubled. He murmured, you scare him. His smile softened as if amused. Fear is often misplaced. But I saw it then, a flicker behind his eyes, a crack in his mask. A cruelty he kept tucked beneath Sunday sermons, and I knew Harlan killed Tyler. Harlan attacked Jace, and Harlan was going to finish what he started. I needed one thing, the weapon, Jace had said. He hid the knife near the what? I retraced everything, where Tyler's body was found, where I found Jace, the trail from O'Malley's. They all formed a rough triangle around the woods. The center point, a small abandoned cabin hunters used decades ago. If Harlan hid anything, that was where he'd put it. I drove straight there. The cabin was barely standing. Half-collapsed, moldy walls. Rusted roof. I pushed inside. Everything smelled like rot and wet earth. I searched under loose floorboards, behind broken crates, under old blankets. Nothing. Finally, behind a warped beam, my fingers hit something metallic. I pulled it free, a bloody hunting knife, and wrapped around it, soap. And stiff Tyler Reed's missing wallet. I choked on a sob. Proof, real proof. Footsteps snapped outside. I whipped around. Pastor Harlan stood in the doorway, calm, collected, hands clasped. I was hoping you'd come here. He said quietly. My grip tightened on the knife. Stay back. You shouldn't have poked around, he murmured. I liked you, Lily. You were supposed to take the blame for Tyler. The drifter with a temper, the outsider, easy to frame. My stomach twisted. You murdered them. Tyler was weak. Harlan said, voice soft. He confessed things I couldn't allow to spread. And Jace, poor boy. He saw me the night Tyler died. Air left my lungs. He stepped closer. Give me the knife, Lily. No. His eyes darkened. Then I'll take it. He lunged. I sprinted out the back, tearing through brambles. His footsteps thundered behind me. You can't run. He shouted, no one will believe you. I reached the road, just as a truck screeched to a stop. Sheriff Dalton. He stepped out, hand on his gun. What the hell? He killed Tyler. I screamed. He stabbed Jace. The knife, it's right here. Harlan burst from the trees. Sheriff, he yelled. She attacked me. She's lying. Dalton aimed his gun. Both of you. Freeze. Harlan charged. A single shot cracked through the air. Harlan dropped. Silence swallowed the forest. Dalton approached cautiously, checking his pulse. He's alive. He muttered. I collapsed to my knees, shaking. Dalton looked at the knife in my trembling hands, at the blood, at the wallet. His face paled. Oh my God, he whispered. I was wrong about you. The truth unraveled fast. Jace woke up and gave a full statement. Harlan was charged with attempted murder, the murder of Tyler Reed, and obstruction of justice. Evidence from the cabin sealed everything. For weeks, the town whispered in shame, not about me, but about how easily they had blamed the wrong person. Tyler's mother visited me eventually. She didn't apologize with words, just hugged me so tight I felt ribs shift. And for the first time in months, I slept without nightmares. But sometimes, late at night, I remember the moment Harlan stepped from the trees. Quiet, polite, invisible, the kind of man no one suspects. And I wonder how many killers look just like him, hiding behind kindness and watching from the woods. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.